Hey, Chad Tomaszewski back here with my second guest today, Wilf Mulder, Vice President of Safety and Security over at JVC Kenwood. I've known Wilf for a really long time, really looking forward to diving into the discussion with him. He's got some cool radios he's brought here that we get to use for fire and life safety and throughout the oil and gas and mining industry. Catch up with us. I'm Chad Tomaszewski, Chief Growth Officer with Trident Communications. We're talking to industry leaders about the technology that's changing their business. This is TSI Today. Hey, we're back here with Wilf on TSI Today. We're talking about LMR solutions. LMR, there's so many different acronyms in our business, and where do you even start to try and to decipher all of them? LMR for our audience is Land Mobile Radios, and Wilf, we've got you here today to talk a little bit about two-way technologies and all the different solutions that Kenwood brings to the table today, which is vast. If we look at two-way radio's history, a lot of people might think that it's a technology of the past, that it is a technology that is kind of going to see an end of life soon. That's simply not the case. From first responders, whether that's EMS or firefighters, police services, military, oil and gas, we just see it happening everywhere where land mobile radio solutions are absolutely a must. Talk to us a little bit about why we're never going to see the end of a two-way radio.
Well, I just think that the principle behind radio, where it's push to talk, right? You push to talk, it's one to many. It can be just radio to radio. In some cases, you don't need additional infrastructure to facilitate that communication. Or if you're talking to larger groups over larger areas, yeah, there's systems and an infrastructure that'll support that. But just the basis of push to talk, one to many, and communicate what you need to have communicated.
For sure. If we look back at your career, what is the most significant changes we've seen in two-way? You've been doing this for quite some time now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people might call them that dirty word, walkie-talkies that you can pick up at a Walmart. But when we're talking about a professional solution like what Ken was bringing to the table, a two-way radio service, there's a lot of intricate details that are missed by the layman. So what are some of the technologies you've seen that have been just big leaps inside the evolution?
Yeah, I think the biggest leap or the biggest change that I've seen is the digital migration, right? So going from analog radios that are somewhat susceptible to noise or maybe have some limitations to go to digital. Right, so of course digital provides you with security, encryption, caller ID, but also enhanced coverage and also more spectrum efficient. Right, so you're able to take more radio channels in that finite spectrum that's available to you as a radio user, and digital will allow you to make better use of that.
Okay, so what are some of the obstacles that we had to overcome going from analog to digital?
Yeah, I think it revolves around the user experience, right? So people say digital sounds different, and to a certain degree it does, but it's just ensuring that the user is more disciplined on how they use the radio. And what I mean by that is make sure that you're speaking 2 to 4 centimeters away from the microphone. With analog, you could cheat a little bit and have the microphone a little bit further away, but with digital, it speak 2 to 4 centimeters away. That will ensure that the advantages of digital as it relates to noise suppression is addressed. So you're actually going to have a much clearer sounding transmission with digital, where all that background noise is eliminated, for example.
Excellent. Let's jump into some of the technologies Kenwood provides. I'm looking here, I've got some fancy radios that we get to play with all the time,
yeah.
And a lot of our clients get to utilize great solutions, but I gotta tell you, there's a green one sitting on the table here right now that's really got my attention. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, so this is actually our newest radio we've just in the midst of introducing. It's our VP8000. And what's exciting about this radio is it is tri-band. So you can do VHF, UHF, 700-800 megahertz. And it supports multiple digital modes. So you can use it at P25, phase 1, phase 2, so ideally suited for first responders. But you can also do DMR. And so you think about this, that you're a first responder, you need to you're the incident commander and you're needing to speak to multiple agencies on site. So you've got your P25, so you're talking to your first responder agencies, adjacent fire departments, whatever, and you're needing to talk to just a conventional VHF user, or you're needing to talk to the public works department that may have a DMR solution. So this radio does all that. So again, tri-band, multiple digital modes. You've got a transflective, top display, front display, transflective, 3-watt speaker audio, so it is a loud radio, and the receiver performance specifications on this are just, they're industry leading. So it's phenomenal radio. So early indications from the field is that this one is it's proving to be a winner.
So for our viewers, this is more of a radio that we often refer to as the slice of pizza. Everybody's getting one. We're pushing these radios a lot. On the P25 solution, however, it's more of a unique solution that's really meant for certain users. Tell our audience a little bit about what the P25 protocol really is and why it's so necessary for us to have it.
Yeah, so P25 is a digital technology that was developed by an association, APCO, but it's for multi-vendors. So the multi-vendors can, you can have different radio brands talk to each other on the same system. So, and P25 again really was developed around that public safety market, but it's also highly used in petrochemical and some other select industries as well.
Definitely is, yeah.
Yeah.
If you think back through your career, you started really young. 15, I believe it was, playing with radios, which is fantastic. How has it evolved now? And there's a specific reason why I'm asking this question, Wilf. I think your story is fantastic, and I think there is an opportunity for young people that might be watching this to listen to how you got to where you are today. VP at Kenwood, fantastic, congratulations on the new role. But where did you start, and how did you get to where you are right now?
Well, it's interesting, right? You always take advantage of the opportunities as they're presented to you. So yeah, I was 15 years old. My father asked me, hey, there's this amateur radio course coming up, and I was living on Prince Edward Island at the time, and I've always had a fascination with radio, right? You're watching the movies and things like that. So I thought, oh yes, I'll take it. So I got involved through the local, amateur radio community and started to learn. You learn how does an antenna work, and what's the range you get on VHF, and how does shortwave radio work, and you're talking all over the world. So I knew at that point in time that this is an industry that I wanted to be in. Right. So as soon as I graduated from high school, we had at this point moved to British Columbia, Vernon's home, and I went to Calgary, went to technical school. Spent 2 years there, came back to Vernon, started working for a radio shop a few months later, and that's how my career started in the radio industry. And then went from a local radio shop as a technician to then working for Kenwood, in a sales role, looking after Western Canada, to now looking after the communications division for Canada.
What a great path! That's fantastic. Kenwood does some unique things. One of the things that you guys are involved in is something called Kenwood Cares.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Kenwood Cares was one of those programs that sort of developed around what we felt as a need. There are so many volunteer organizations in Canada doing great things, and for them to do their work the best, you need radio. And so we had been working sort of ad hoc with a few organizations, and we thought, let's develop a formalized program. So we call it Kenwood Cares. So visit kenwoodcares.ca to learn more. And we run the grant twice a year. And so nonprofit organizations can go on, apply. We do ask that they provide as much information about their organization as possible. Then we review the application, and then we award the grant based on, again, the greatest need that's identified. So we're soon going to be announcing that the Alberta Search and Rescue Dog Association will be a grant recipient for radios. As well, we have the Victoria Volunteer Fire Department on Prince Edward Island that's receiving a grant. So you hear about these stories that these first responder organizations, they need communication to do their work well, and we're happy to provide a grant that does that.
That's great. We love that you're involved inside the community. That's something that's really important to Toronto Communications as well. We're heavily involved in the communities that we're involved, we work and live in today. and to be partnered with a great company like yours and doing the same thing is just a real good feeling. Will, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
if
thanks,
people needed to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Yeah, just look for me on LinkedIn, Wilf Mulder, and happy to connect and obviously address any questions that you have. I did want to just touch on Chad's comment earlier about, if you're younger, you're looking at getting involved with an exciting industry that I think is still very relevant. You talk to technicians that, they're going up in a helicopter to service a mountaintop site. They're providing critical lifeline, links for first responders to communicate. Like, check out this industry. It's exciting and it's evolving, and it's going to be around for a long time.
You betcha. Lots of fun. Thanks again, Will.
Okay, thanks, Chad.
Take care. Thanks for watching TSI Today. Catch up with us next time when we learn more about technology changing business today.